We get it, you're a filmmaker that loves soft lighting. It's all you ever talk about and it's all you ever use because that's what you learned is beauty lighting. Today let's talk about when, why, and how you should be using hard light. Now, hard light refers to a quality of light that casts strong shadows with crisp edges. It's also the opposite of soft light, which we covered in a previous video. So, what is it used for? Well, if we learned that soft lighting hides depth and texture, we now know that hard light can be used to emphasize depth and texture. Now, because hard light doesn't wrap as well around your subjects, hard light is perfect for showing definition in your talent's face or body. This is ideal for illuminating edgy features you want to draw attention to, like a sharp jawline or muscular definition. And since hard lighting isn't considered traditionally beautiful, choosing to implement it can result in a more intense, dramatic, and traditionally masculine look. But that doesn't mean that hard lighting is only limited to male subjects. These days, hard lighting is often used on women too, to create the same sense of mystery or strong facial features. And after all, there are no real rules when it comes to creativity. Just be careful because hard lighting can be pretty unforgiving when it comes to wrinkles and blemishes. Likewise, hard light can be used to add more contrast. Since hard light will result in brighter highlights and darker shadows, it is generally better at directing our eyes, which are attracted by the brightest part of any frame. With more contrast, the brightest part of your frame is made even more eye-catching, and the shadows are crushed to be even less noticeable. Now, from a style perspective, hard light is also essential if you want to do any shadow work. In film noir, hard light has obviously become famous for creating the shadows of window blinds, but if you pay attention, you can actually find examples and adaptations of this technique just about everywhere. After all, it's always hard light that is used to create everything from the shadows of tree branches to jail bars to the shadowy introduction of that main villain. And if you're looking to do more volumetric lighting, such as shafts, pillars, or flashlight beams of light, remember that hard light is the only way to do it. And that's important to remember. Lighting doesn't just take place in only 2D. The shadows that you're able to make on a wall from hard light actually extend beyond that wall through the entire space that you're shooting through. And in essence, these shadows are actually extending through the space and can be captured when shot through atmosphere or haze. But now that we know when to use hard lighting, how do we create it and what tools do we have? Fortunately, the answer for this is pretty simple and is the inverse of what it takes to make soft light. 1. Size. 2. Distance. The smaller a source is, the harder the light emitted from it will be. Likewise, the farther a light is from your subject, the harder it will be, which makes sense considering that the farther a source is, the relative size of that source will be smaller to the source it is shining on. In the soft lighting video, I used this example, but here it is again. Though the sun is a very large source because it is so far from the Earth, the relative size of the sun is very small to everything on Earth. Meaning that unless you are 93 million miles tall, the sun has and will always emit hard light. That is, if it is uncovered. Clouds, for instance, act as diffusion for the sun, but we'll get to that in another episode. While it's super easy to make hard light softer, and there are plenty of tools from all kinds of softboxes, silks, and diffusion to do so, it is really hard to make light harder. In essence, you only have two options. 1, you can try backing up that soft source so far that the relative size is small enough to create hard light. Or 2, you can try bouncing a soft source off of a small reflector or piece of mirror to act as your new source. Either way, both are pretty cumbersome and inefficient, so I recommend just finding a fixture that produces hard light from the beginning. If you want to accomplish this with LED, look for the smallest possible area with a single source of light. So, there you have it. That's hard lighting 101, but what's your favorite use of hard lighting? Tell us in the comments below, and the best answer will win a Light Dome Mini and Space Light, just 2 of the soft lighting attachments that we make. So, think of something creative, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys next time.